there's effectively two of the God Seeds down. I mean, Wolfen seems to have pulled back. I mean, mainly, obviously, Natsu. I mean, if he didn't deal with him, like, if he knew that none of the other ones would probably spawn Zeref, he could have stayed. But I don't think he would have wanted to risk that danger. He's like a weird, tricky one. Figure a way around his gimmick, and he's pretty much screwed. But it's still pretty impressive power. Regardless of which, then we had Doom, and I brought it up in the video when I did the review on it. Doom going down in one chapter. When you really think about it, like, if the God Seeds, obviously aside from the Alderaan God Seed, if the other four are all around Spriggan level, and Doom is kind of like Nineheart, he's got a Hax power, but he's a caster. He's like a traditional caster. He doesn't have high durability. And then you had like Max train under Agil, as well as being buffed by Wendy. So it was like, okay, it's believable more when you think about it that way, which was fine with me. Regardless of which, now we have Metro and Gears left. I'm not counting Alderaan right now because that's going to clearly be the last one. Metro, like with Gears I have expectations for. Like with Doom is like, okay, Doom going down. Like I said, if he's a traditional caster, didn't have high durability, believable. Like in general idea, if you are a ranged kind of Hax caster, you're not going to be somebody who takes a lot of damage, so you're not going to be used to it. Not going to have high durability. It's not like a Dragon Slayer where their bodies are just made for like heavy getting hit and having like all close combat battles and stuff. Like Doom was clearly hacks and then different ways to implement his ability. But with Metro, I have specific things I want from Metro. Like Doom going down, he was silly, and then like I said, traditional caster. Okay, Gears I have expectations for, since this is a 1v1 against Jalal. I'm really hoping that his fight is good, and he's able to take some hits and have a better performance. Metro, I see him more of, hey, we want to give other characters some attention right now, and with him, you could do multiple characters having time, and primarily the two I think that will get it will be Godchill and Gray. I think both of them are deserving and in need of some spotlight, especially Godchill. I mean, Gray at least is in the main cast, so if he doesn't get one in this fight, I mean, there's always the next Dragon Guard part, because like he'll be there. We don't know if Godchill is going to be tagging along or what they're going to do exactly with the guild after the whole Alderaan stuff is done. But with Metro's already displayed that he's avoiding getting hit, and he's a summoner. So one thing we do know, because like I said, traditional casters aren't taking abilities. Summoners are part of that because their style is by summoning creatures to fight for them, and they are more used to like, implementing stuff here, keeping distance, crowd control stuff. They aren't the fighters themselves. Lucy is an exception to like the caster kind of basis, like the caster base kind of position that they're in, and like the way that their stats are, because she refused to kind of like do the old style and decided to fight alongside her summons, and because of that, she's taken a lot of beatings, and because of that, she's got some pretty good durability. That's like pretty understandable. It makes sense. It's just that you're getting it through pain and punishment rather than just like your magic in general. So Metro going down is, if he gets taken out, like once he gets hit, like a big attack, that's fine. That'll be believable, like I said, because if he's a traditional caster, similar to Doom, and like someone like Nineheart, I guess Nineheart he's also like literally a traditional caster and summoner. But someone like that, him not having high durability, well, it's already shown that he's trying to avoid getting hit himself, that he's probably not the most durable guy. So that'll be fine for me. What I'm hoping for in that will be how he goes down, and what about the other characters are going to be displayed in order for that to happen. Like with Doom, we got to see, well, with Wolfen, so we'll start with Wolfen. Wolfen, we got to see Natsu being smart, we got to see him being pretty tactical, as well as we got some good character moments, like with him and Zara, calling Zeref his brother. That alone was like a really interesting point, just because of the way that we saw him in an actual fight with Zeref and stuff. That was good. We got character improvement there. With Doom, we got to see, so like I mentioned in the video, we got some very core Fairy Tail themes. Like, I was re-looking at the fight of Urza versus Azuma, and I think Azuma, like, classes up pretty well. It's like a good, within the Fairy Tail Guild, the thing that makes them really kind of, like, powerful and, so well as a guild is not their individual strength, it's their harmony and how they can, like, work together and stuff. And like I said, on top of like the buff that Wendy gave everybody, like used all of her magic to make them all a lot more powerful. On top of that, Max training with Agil was like, okay, yeah, cool. We got a lot of we got core themes as well as we got like character progression, and we got a little bit of like old arcs like intersecting and building more characters from that, building some character stuff from it, which I really liked. I thought that was really good. With Gears, all I'm hoping with Gears is he has a good fight with Jalal and we get to see some Jalal stuff. I'm hoping for some new spells from Jalal. I want to just see some like a cool Jalal battle, because really, when was the last time we got like a really good Jalal fight? I mean, really, when he fought the Aracion Seis, because we didn't really get a battle with him during the Alvarez arc. I mean, I know he had parts where he was in a fight, but we didn't really see him. Like the August kind of mops the crime sorcery pretty quickly off screen. I mean, really, that's understandable, like the gap between Jalal and August. And when I thought about it, I'm kind of glad Hiroshima didn't like make a Jalal versus August like main fight, because then it literally would have just been Seek Heart versus Haja 2. And yeah, the last thing we need is more people to say that Hiroshima does the same thing. I'm like, shut up, talk about your saying words. But with Metro's fight, I'm hoping for Godjill and Gray upgrades. That's my big thing, because they deserve it. They need it. With Gray, I'm really hoping for a further pushed demon form. Or at the very least, I'll take, like, with him, the very least, this is the minimum, I'll take him giving a name to, like, the demon marking taking over his body. Because it's literally just the Demon Slayer version of Dragon Force, but we don't have a name for it. Like, people really just call it Devil Force for, or Demon Force. Like, obviously, Devil and Slayer, it's been translated both ways. But outside of that, like, we haven't really got a name for it. I'm hoping otherwise, like, the big hope I have for that one is a progressed form. I'm hoping for a horn, or, like, it doesn't have to be a physical horn. It could literally just be an icicle horn that comes out of Gray's forehead or somewhere on his body. Just anything that shows that the demon side of him is progressing. I really like that he has this actual kind of like want to get more powerful for a reason, where he wants to get strong enough to where he can protect Juvia so he can be with her. I really like that. And then Godjill just needs one in general. Godjill needs it. We saw earlier this arc that he, with his base form, isn't that far off from Natsu's base form, and his Iron Shadow Dragon mode is not far off of Natsu's Lightning Flame Dragon mode. Or sorry, Iron Shadow Dragon mode. Did I say Shadow Flame? What did I say? Iron Flame? I think I'm Iron Shadow. I have to go back and look. But Iron Shadow is barely weaker than Natsu's Lightning Flame Dragon mode. Like, Natsu is barely able to keep standing, while Godjill was, just at that point where he couldn't stand longer. So I think it doesn't have to be like, oh, Dragon Force. He's like one step away from Natsu. I would at least like an equivalent to Natsu's Fire Dragon King mode. We get something for Godjill, even if it's called Iron Dragon King mode. I'll take it, because I want to see some progress for him. Godjill's always been that character who kind of just falls behind, because he's not directly in the main cast. He's like a sub-in, and like Juvia, it's always like, okay, cool. Do I get to be in this arc? Sweet. I'll come join, and then afterwards, it's like, well, we don't know if he's gonna be in the next part or not. We'll see. Something like that, I would like it. I'm really hoping that we get like that moment, and maybe like the next chapter it ends with both Godjill and Gray getting upgraded, and then the chapter after that they take him down, like with Gray going directly for Metro and Godjill dealing with the wood golems. I want to see like Godjill do like a drop that form, do a big attack, and he like cuts down all the wood golems around him. He literally takes out every single one at the same time, and then that makes an opening for Gray to, land like a big attack on Metro with like, either he can literally just do an upgraded form and have the exact same like his Zeroth longsword, but as long as he gets some form of boost. And I know it's not a power level thing that I want out of an upgrade. It's that I think their characters deserve something new, and really everybody else has been pulling out new stuff and new abilities and you know all their new tricks that they've developed in the last year. And Gachio and Gray should both have that. I mean, especially Gray because we know that he is striving to become stronger for a specific character reason. So that's my hopes and expectations for the next chapter. Like I said, when it comes to like Gears, I have expectations for, but him, I'll be purely happy if Gears just has a good fight with Jolov. If we can get just like a 1 to 2 chapter, like a cool fight with some really cool panels and you know, showing Jalal like using Meteor move around and drop some big spells. Maybe drop a new True Heavenly Body spell. That'd be really cool. Maybe we get something and we find out like the difference between Heavenly Body and True Heavenly Body magic. Because like it's maybe like, oh well, Heavenly Body magic, I'm kind of imitating the stars and stuff, and I'm using magic. But it's like True Heavenly Body magic, I'm actually like messing with stuff in like space and stuff. Like maybe if he had True Heavenly Body Grand Chariot, the difference is like I'm actually pulling energy from the star constellations that form up Grand Chariot. Like directly where they are in space, I'm pulling energy from them all the way that distance to here. Kind of like Deuce Sema, like we see the distance that Deuce Sema was like when Irene pulled it. And we don't see the same thing from Sema, but we see like what looks to be him pulling a meteor from space and stuff. Stuff like that I'm really hoping for. I don't, if he doesn't drop a new spell, that's not a big deal to me. It's more of just like him getting a display because we haven't gotten it forever. And Jalal's like, I think Jalal's definitely a fan favorite. I mean, I really like Jalal. I know a lot of people like him. But anyway, other than that, though, I think that sums up pretty much what my hopes are for not only the next chapter, a couple. I mean, and then probably what my predictions will change after we get the next chapter and we find out, you know, did I get anything correct in my predictions and did I get anything wrong? What new stuff opens up to make new theories and whatnot. But other than that, though, comment below, thumbs up, but from the like button, subscribe button, and check out my other videos. But other than that, I appreciate everybody who's already subscribed, and I thank you all for listening. Bye.